Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to be doing a first impression of different products, and I am so excited to bring you those products that I've picked up at Ulta and different places and show you them and how they work according to me. Sorry, I got a little tongue-tied there. This is the completed look with everything. So super excited with how it turned out. I kind of went for a pink date night romantic look, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So if you're new here, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button right down there for more content, and let's get started so I can show you what products I use to make this look. See you in a sec. Alrighty guys, so in our first part of our first impressions, we are going to be playing with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette. I got this probably about a week or so ago, maybe even. I got a gift card to Ulta from my sister, so shout out to Sarah, as a graduation present, and so I decided to pick up something that I normally would not buy. I've never tried any ABH products, so I wanted to try something, so I did pick this up. It's very, very pretty. Now I have played with it already, so this is more of a kind of first impressions because I've already played with it, and you'll excuse my hair. It is super hot outside and it's super hot in my makeup room, so the hair had to go up and do this. So so that's why the palette's gonna look like it does, because I have already kind of, you know, swatched it and played with it. But this is what the palette looks like. It's super, super pretty. So it's just one of the different first impressions we're gonna be playing with today. So first we are going to prime our eyes, as always. And I'm feeling, I got a pink shirt on, I wore pink to church today. I'm feeling a nice romantic pink look. So I think that's what we're gonna go for. It's a nice pink romantic look. So I'm gonna blend that concealer out. Okay, got the concealer, the base nice in place. So now we're gonna dive into the palette. It's got a beautiful velvet outside, which I just love it. It's so soft. So it also does come, kind of like the Urban Decay brush palettes, it does come with its own brush, which I am gonna be using. So the first thing we're gonna pop into is this shade right here. It's a pink, it's called Love. So we're gonna take the fluffy end of the brush, and we are pigmented, for real, pigmented. So there is that, like that. So wow, so that's like 1.5 dips, because I did do twice in the palette. So that's some nice pigment. Now I will say there is some fallout, but don't bother me none. And then we're going on this side. And again, that's really just kind of one dip in the palette. Okay. So a nice warm pink tone. So there is that. So now we are gonna go into this last shade, this kind of brownie looking shade right here. It is called Passion. So we're gonna take the smaller end and we're gonna put this in the outer third and run just a little bit into the crease. And I'm looking into the mirror of the palette here so I can see what I'm doing. So these blend and go on beautifully. So that's what that looks like. blend wonderfully and they go on so nice. And I believe this palette ran for right at, it was either 40 or 42. So like I said, it was a splurge. I did pick it up because I did have a gift card. So I decided to buy something that I wouldn't normally buy. So this is what I picked up. And so far, I'm really happy that I did. I think I'm gonna add this palette to my everyday drawer because what I like about it is it's got not only like those pinks, which I love pinks. I play with pinks constantly on my channel and in real life. I play with pinks a lot. That's my favorite colors. That's one of my favorite colors to wear. But it also has got these really, really pretty brown and kind of mustardy shades too. So really, really like those as well. So I think I might even film another look using a more neutral, some more neutral shades. We'll see. But I think I am gonna add this to my everyday makeup drawer because you can do a ton of looks with it. And then you've also got like the purple and the blue and stuff like that. So you can play with those looks as well. So there is that. That's how the look so far has turned out, which I really like. So now we are gonna take our makeup brush. I'm gonna it's got some eyeliner on it from earlier today. So we're gonna take that. I'll dry that off real quick. Excuse my nose. And we're gonna take our ColourPop setting mist and we're gonna spray that on there. And then we are going to go in to this beautiful pink shade right here called Wild Child. Love that name. So we're gonna dip into the pink. And pop that all over into the lid, blending it into Passion there at the end. So there is that. And that's what that looks like. I'm gonna come up a little farther on this eye with the Passion shade, but that's all right. I love this pink color. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Okay. So there is that. Super happy with that, which I'll go in and clean this up and put some liner and lashes on here in a minute, but super happy with how that turned out. So now we are gonna go, I'm gonna take off here and I'm gonna put liner and lashes and clean this up a little bit, and we'll be back for some more first impressions because I do have some more that I'm really excited to show you guys and really excited to try out because some I haven't tried out yet. So be back, see you in a few. All right, and we are back. So super excited with how the look turned out. I think it's really pretty. I love the pink kind of soft romanticness of it. Love these lashes. These are my usual lashes, the ones from Amazon. I love them. So got those on. So now on to, and I am shedding like a dog. I'm shedding hair. So now we're moving on to more first impressions. So our next first impressions is actually a primer. I got the mini of this. That's why it's so tiny. But I did get the Benefit, the Pore Professional Hydrate Primer. This is the mini. It runs for about $13. I went to Ulta to replenish my primer because I'm about out of the one that I've been using. And so the girl that was working there asked me, my skin type, and I told her I have dry skin. So she recommended this, but I didn't want to pay $32 for the full size until I tried it. So I just grabbed the mini so I could try it. So it comes out, it's like a flesh color. Now she did tell me for this one, the difference in this one is, because she did say it's pore filling too, is on your pore areas to pat it in instead of rubbing it in. So that's what we gonna do. Well, to fill in your pores. So it smells really good, and it's not as, it's more like a gel or it's a thicker consistency than the one I've been doing, which is the base tape. Ooh. Sorry. And so now the rest of the face, I'm just gonna rub in. So we're gonna try this one today. And I'm gonna wear this. It's currently 5 o'clock in the afternoon, evening, whatever you wanna say. It's 5 o'clock here in Alabama. So I'm going to leave this on for the rest of the evening until it's time for me to go to bed. So not a whole long time, but I am gonna keep using this. I'll probably use it tomorrow when I go to work. So for a full 8-hour day, probably 9 hours by the time I get home. We'll see how it holds up on that. So there's that. It feels nice. It's not as instantly hydrating as the base tape from Tarte that I've been using, but it feels nice. It feels nice and tacky to keep the foundation on. So we'll see how it does. So now we're gonna go in with my fave. This is not a new impression. It's the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Foundation. I love this stuff. I love it. One of my favorite buys of the year so far has been this foundation. I use it every day and I love the finish. I love how it looks. It covers up well. I love every part of it. So that's what we're using today. Keep that line nice and cut. The shade that I got is just absolutely perfect for me. So I will definitely say so far, this has been a fave of 2020 for me. Get this in my hairline. Once my hair's up. And this is 2.5 pumps worth of this foundation. My lighting looks kind of weird. I don't know why. Let's see if we can kind of, not like that. There we go. There we go. That's better. Sorry, the lighting just looked weird to me. Okay, so there is that. I'm gonna take, still got some left over, so I'm gonna take it and kind of do a second layer. There we go. All right, so there's that, nice and finished. Go into my hairline with it. Okay. So there is that. So I'm gonna take a makeup wipe and kind of take the excess off my hand. Just have a little bit of excess left. So now we have another new, actually I have 2 new products that we're about to try. One is a sponge and then the other is my concealer. So for the concealer, we are gonna be going in. So I picked this up the other day and I'm so excited. I picked up the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I actually picked up a little bit of a darker shade. I picked up light neutral. It shows a little bit darker when I put it on, but it blends out lighter. So I am really excited. So we're gonna do this. there's that. I'll dot that under the eyes. Right there. And right here on my chin. So there's that. Got my nice war paint going on. So our new sponge we're going to be going in with is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponge. So I've been using the Real Technique sponge and I like it, but we are going to go in and use the e.l.f. sponge. When I went to replenish my primer the other day, I wanted to pick up a new sponge to be using my concealer with, and I saw this and I was like, why not? Let's try it. So far I like it. I like the shape of it. I think it'll be easier to get into these kind of more tight crevices of my eyes. So, and by the way, I didn't say this at the beginning of my video, but I am so sorry that I have been on a video making hiatus. It was not intended. My husband got home from his training and we've been getting back into a routine of having all three of us home. My daughter's been in daycare and is about to start back to school next week. So it's been, you know, getting back into a routine of it being all three of us, plus just, you know, a lot of different things, graduations and birthdays and things. So just really have not had time to sit down and film, or it felt like I didn't because of everything else going on. And then some nights I got home and I was like, I'm gonna film. And I was so tired. By the time I got home, I just laid down and went to bed. So I'm really sorry for those of you that love watching that it has been a minute that I have posted a video. I'm actually off 3 days this week. I am off Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week. And so be prepared because I plan to film all 3 days. I don't know if I will post every single day that I film. Might have some to kind of post later, but I will be filming. So more videos are coming, I promise. But I just want to say I'm really sorry for being on a hiatus. It wasn't intended, it just kind of happened. So next we're gonna go in with the Too Faced Peach Perfect Mattifying Setting Powder. And we're gonna go in with our MAC brush. I love this setting powder. I think it does such a good job. I've got a hair hanging out. There we go. It just blurs and makes everything just look so nice and pretty and bright. Like I have gotten exactly the amount of sleep I should be getting, even though I don't. Not even close. And there is that. Perfect. I love that setting powder. And it smells like peach and it smells so good. Peach is one of my favorite scents. All right, so now we are gonna take our blinged brush, the F1 powder brush, and we are gonna go in with our shape tape powder, shape tape press powder. So there's that. There is that. Take this all over. Lay that down. Nice and perfect. And now we are gonna go in with our bronzer, which we're gonna stay with the Fenty bronzer in the shade Private Island. To nice and warm up the face. Okay. There's that. So now I'm actually gonna take, so I got a new Jeffree brush. This is the JS1, and it's supposed to be for all over powder, but I like it to do my bronzer at the top of my head. So that's what we're gonna use it for. Alright, and I'm gonna kind of lighten that down a little bit with my powder. Alright, there is that. So now for blush, we are gonna go back into the Milani Baked Blush, which is in the shade Luminoso. Love this one. This was one that I saw many YouTubers talk about, and I am so glad I picked it up because I use this pretty much on the daily, and it is so pretty. Okay, so there is a blush. There is that. I'm gonna take a powder brush and kind of powder right there. Alright, so now we're gonna go back and finish the eye look. So we're gonna take, again, that bottom part of the brush. Ooh, don't do that. Whew, that one's real bad. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna go back into that brownish reddish shade right here called Passion. And taking the little part of the brush. Right under the eye and connect that to that part right there. And then again, go right under the eye and connect it. So there is that. And then now I am going to take my E6 bling brush and I'm gonna go into this really pretty shimmer shade right here called Dreamer. And we're gonna highlight. Ooh, that's so pretty. And highlight. We're gonna go into the inner corner and inner corner. Okay. So that completes our eye look. So now we can go into highlighter. So for highlighter, I wanted to dive back into one that I hadn't used in a minute so I could go with a highlighter that's kind of gonna go with this pink look that we got going on. So we are gonna dive into the Jeffree Star Brain Freeze highlighter palette. And we are gonna go into this pink one right here called Frozen Fruit. So I'm going to take, there she is. Take my highlighter brush and dig into Frozen Fruit. Boom. So pretty. It's got like a nice pinkish tint to it. It is a little more blinding than the ColourPop one I've been using, but we're feeling a little blinding today. There we go. That's a good. Okay, so there's that, and then we're gonna go down the bridge of the nose. Where my Cupid's bow? Okay, so perfect. There is that. Put that and put that back. So finally, for lips, we are gonna go in. We're gonna use a Jeffree Star liquid lipstick because you guys know those are my faves. And we're gonna go into this one right here, which is the shade Doll Parts. It's a very pretty pink shade. It's not as hot pink as the pink in the Jeffree Shane collection. Sorry, I can't talk. It's a little bit more of a subtle pink. If you can call any Jeffree Star pink subtle. But I really like it to go with this look. So there is that. So now, let that dry real quick. To finish us off, we are gonna go back in with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Setting Mist. Okay. Ooh, fan that off a little bit. And ta-da! Here is our completed romantic, in my eyes, romantic pink look. There is the finished look. I'm happy with it. I think it's really pretty. I do think this palette is worth every bit of the 40 bucks. This is my thoughts, my ending thoughts, sorry. I do think this palette is worth every bit of the 40 bucks. It is a good everyday palette because you do have the neutrals along with the pinks and then a couple bright pops of color like the purples and stuff. Sorry, I got some fallout going on. So definitely one that I'm going to be playing with more to try out the different colors. But super excited to play with it. I think it's worth the money. The primer, I mean, so far everything went on it okay. So I think it's so far so good. We're gonna keep trying it. Like I said, I'm gonna wear it tomorrow when I'll have a much longer day to see how my makeup holds up, because I know how it holds up with my base tape. It holds up really, really well. So we'll see about that. And then the concealer I really, really like. So I'm super excited to finally pick up Shape Tape. I think it went on really, really nice. I think it looks nice with everything else. So that is what I think. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so excited for you to be watching my video. Please like and subscribe. And like I said, more videos are coming because I am off some days this week. So I'll have more time to sit here and film. So I'm super excited to have different videos come up and for you guys to see what I have planned. So hope you have a great night and thanks for watching. Bye.